You try to be the nice guy, open, honest, always there, but it backfires. She drifts away, drawn to someone sharper, someone who seems to know the game, someone who commands her attention without begging for it. You're stuck, aren't you? Trapped in a cycle of effort, rejection, and self-doubt, wondering why your sincerity keeps you lonely while others effortlessly pull her in. You tell yourself you're doing it right, that being good should be enough. But deep down, you know the truth. You're not weak by accident. You're playing a game you don't understand, and it's breaking your soul. Why does she slip through your fingers? Why do your best efforts push her away instead of pulling her closer? You've been taught to be soft, to be safe, to wear your heart on your sleeve. But that vulnerability is your cage, a trap that leaves you powerless in a world where attraction is a battlefield. Niccolo Machiavelli, the 16th century master of power who penned The Prince amid the cutthroat courts of Renaissance Italy, saw through this game. His philosophy isn't just for politics, it's for life, for love, for the silent wars of human connection. He knew power isn't given. It's taken through strategy, cunning, and control. His 3 snake rules, tested, calculated, ruthless, can make her addicted, not because you trick her, but because you master the dynamics that already rule her mind. This isn't just dating, it's a war, and you're losing. You don't want to hear this. You want to believe love is pure, that honesty wins her heart, that playing nice will make her stay. You want to trust the system, society, culture, your heart, when it tells you to be open, to give everything, to wait for her to choose you. But your life screams otherwise. You're invisible, aren't you? Chasing her attention, doubting your worth, losing to men who seem to know something you don't. Your desperation, your pain, your endless trying, they're not flaws. They're battle scars, proof you're fighting a war against a system that glorifies weakness and punishes power. Machiavelli's truth is brutal. Attraction isn't about kindness, it's about power. And if you don't wield it, you'll lose her every time. This is your war. And it's time to revolt.
Here's the brutal truth. Women aren't drawn to weakness. They're captivated by strength, not the loud kind, but the quiet, calculated kind that commands without pleading. The system wants you soft, predictable, submissive, because a weak man keeps the social order stable, not your heart fulfilled. Machiavelli's 3 snake rules are a call to arms. Master the game, wield your power, make her crave you. Use the dark conversational hack, 2 questions, 1 validation, to uncover her desires, shift the dynamic, and build the addiction that keeps her hooked. Only then can you stop being her option and start being her obsession, living not for her approval, but for your own power, your own truth, your own freedom. Machiavelli didn't blink. Life is a chessboard, and power is the only move that matters. In The Prince, he argues that human nature is driven by desire, fear, and self-interest, not kindness, not fairness, not love. Attraction is no different. It's a game of power, where bodies, words, and glances are weapons, and the system trains you to lose. You're taught to be the nice guy, open, giving, safe, but that's the system's trick, keeping you weak while others dominate. Machiavelli's rebellion is clear. To make her addicted, you must wield power like a snake, silent, strategic, striking only when the moment is right. His 3 snake rules are your arsenal, tested in the fire of human desire to turn her attention into obsession in 60 seconds. Think about it. Why does she choose the guy who seems untouchable? Why do your efforts to please her backfire? Why does being nice feel like a curse? It's not just bad luck, it's power. Machiavelli saw relationships as battlegrounds where the one who controls the dynamic wins. The system disciplines you to be weak through rom-coms, family advice, cultural norms, because a predictable man serves its order. It's an obscene design, a conspiracy to keep you chasing, never commanding. Machiavelli's revolt is fierce. Your weakness is their prison, and your power is your freedom. Master these rules, or you'll lose more than her attention. You'll lose your soul.
The system's lies everywhere. In the advice to just be yourself, the praise for vulnerability, the shaming of men who play the game. Be honest, it says. Be open. She'll love you for it. But every heartfelt confession, every desperate plea strengthens her power, not yours. Machiavelli's truth is a blade. The system wants you weak, but you can make her addicted by mastering power. Revolt against this obscenity, or you'll spend your life begging for love that's already gone. Here are Machiavelli's 3 snake rules, forged from his philosophy of power, to make women addicted in 60 seconds. Be the enigma. Conceal your intentions. Keep her guessing. Machiavelli says power lies in mystery. Reveal too much and you're predictable, weak. Show interest, but hold back. Flirt, but don't chase. Let her wonder. Let her pursue. An enigma creates desire by denying control. Control the frame. Set the tone, lead the interaction. Machiavelli's prince dictates terms, never follows. Decide the mood, playful, intense, aloof, and make her adapt to you. Your frame is your power. Her addiction comes from stepping into it. Strike with precision. Act decisively, but sparingly. Machiavelli's snake doesn't strike recklessly. It waits, watches, then moves. Give her attention when she earns it. Withdraw when she assumes control. Your precision keeps her hooked, craving your next move. These rules aren't manipulation. They're mastery, aligning with the psychological dance of attraction. The system wants you to spill your heart. These rules make you its master.
Look at your life. Really look at it. You're trapped in a cycle, aren't you? You meet her, you open up, you give everything. Your time, your feelings, your hopes, believing it'll win her heart. But she pulls away. You chase harder, confess more, try to prove your worth, and she slips further. You're not winning her, you're losing yourself, pouring your soul into a void that doesn't return it. You're not her lover, you're her servant, and you're breaking under the weight. Machiavelli would call this surrendering power. Your openness, your eagerness, your neediness, they're weaknesses the system taught you to embrace. The system loves this cycle because a desperate man doesn't control, he doesn't attract, he doesn't revolt. Schools taught you to please, be kind, be honest, avoid conflict. Society rewards you for vulnerability. Share your feelings, be emotional, be safe. Culture glorifies it. Movies sell the nice guy who wins her heart. Songs praise the hopeless romantic. But every time you chase, you hand over your power, your presence, your soul. You're not living, you're begging, programmed to lose her to the man who knows the game. Have you ever stopped to ask why she drifts away? Why your honesty pushes her back? Why being good feels like a trap? It's not just rejection, it's power. The system, through media, advice, tradition, embedded a script in your heart. Be open, be giving, be weak. But Machiavelli's revolt is a different script. Power is your right, and her addiction is your reward. Your chasing is their victory, but your control is your freedom. Your weakness is their chain, but your strategy is your strength.
Society sells you a lie. Vulnerability is attractive.
Opening your heart wins her love. Be real, they say. Show your feelings. She'll respect you. But what does vulnerability give you? A cold shoulder, a polite smile, a heart left exposed and ignored. You're told it's noble to bare your soul, but it's a chain, making you predictable while others wield power. The myth of vulnerability is a trap, a way to keep you weak, to stop you from seeing the truth. Your openness is her control. And Machiavelli says you must take it back. Machiavelli saw through this myth. In The Prince, he argues that power comes from calculation, not exposure. Those who reveal too much lose the game. The system loves this myth because a vulnerable man keeps relationships safe, keeps the hierarchy stable, keeps the power with her. Rom-coms sell it, friends push it, your heart aches for it. But every time you spill your soul, you surrender your power to her whims. Machiavelli's revolt is clear. Vulnerability isn't strength, it's submission. Freedom comes from strategy, from mastering the snake rules, from making her addicted in 60 seconds. Think about the times you opened up. You shared your heart, didn't you? You thought it would bring her closer, make her stay. But where's the passion? Where's the desire? Where's the addiction you crave? Machiavelli would ask, why do you trust a system that profits from your weakness? Why do you cling to a myth that traps you? The myth of vulnerability keeps you blind, but Machiavelli's revolt opens your eyes. Your power is your mystery, not your heart. Freedom comes from controlling it, from choosing strategy, from rebelling against the system's trap. Here's where Machiavelli's philosophy gets dangerous, where the revolt begins. In The Prince, he doesn't just preach power, he demands you seize it. The three snake rules, be the enigma, control the frame, strike with precision, are your weapons to make her addicted, to turn her attention into obsession. Be unpredictable, set the terms, act decisively, and her mind will orbit you, not the other way around. And there's a tool, a dark conversational hack, 2 questions, 1 validation, that can help you expose her desires, shift the dynamic, and build the addiction that keeps her hooked. The dark conversational hack is this. Ask 2 questions to uncover her motives, validate her response to build rapport, then repeat. What makes you feel drawn to someone? She might say confidence, mystery, strength. How do you know when it's real? She reveals her triggers, actions, vibes, moments that spark her desire. You validate. That's real. It's like we're pulled to people who know who they are. You're not just talking, you're mapping her mind, showing her what she craves, planting the seed of your power. This cycle, used with subversive intent, gives you informational superiority. You learn her desires without revealing your own. You see her weaknesses, her longings, her heart, and you start to control, not by manipulating, but by strategizing. Machiavelli would call this ruling the game. By asking questions, you reveal the system's obscenity, how it trains men to be weak, to chase, to lose power. You ask, what's the worst thing a guy's done to chase you? She shares a story, neediness, desperation, clinginess. What would the opposite look like? She exposes her ideal, confidence, control, mystery. You validate. That's powerful. It's like we're taught to chase when we should lead. You're not convincing, you're awakening, using her words to show her the game, to spark her desire, to build a dynamic where you're the prince, not the pawn.
The system doesn't want you to revolt. It wants you weak, chasing, submissive. Social norms, cultural ideals, romantic myths, they're all part of a conspiracy to keep you powerless. They profit from your desperation, selling you vulnerability, honesty, and niceness as virtues, while she's drawn to power.
Be a good guy, they say. Be open, she'll love you. But these are chains designed to keep you begging, pleading, never questioning the system that thrives on your weakness. The system loves this conspiracy because a weak man doesn't control, he doesn't attract, he doesn't revolt. Machiavelli saw this conspiracy in the way society rewards obedience over strategy. He wrote that power is taken, not given, and those who play nice lose. Today's culture amplifies this, with media glorifying the hopeless romantic, friends shaming you for playing the game, relationships expecting your surrender. The system needs you weak because a weak man keeps the social order stable, the power with her, the conspiracy alive. But Machiavelli's revolt is a rebellion. Stop chasing, start commanding, stop pleasing, start winning. Think about the pressure you feel. You're told to be nice, to be open, to wait for her, aren't you? You're told it's noble, it's romantic, it's right. But Machiavelli would ask, why do you trust a system that profits from your rejection? Why do you let it define your power? The conspiracy of weakness keeps you blind because a weak man doesn't question, he doesn't control, he doesn't revolt. But you're called to something greater, to break the programming, to wield the snake rules, to live as a prince, not a pawn.
Let's go deeper, because there's a trap in every step toward power, the lure of neediness. The system sells you a lie. Your need for her love, her attention, her validation is natural, human, good. Every time you chase, confess, or cling, you're seeking her approval, hoping to prove your worth. But neediness is a trap, a way to keep you weak, to stop you from commanding. Neediness isn't love, it's surrender, a chain that binds you to her whims. Machiavelli called neediness a failure of power. When you show desperation, you give her control. You lose your mystery, you betray your strength. The system feeds this trap, telling you neediness is passion, that chasing is romantic, that power is cruel. But Machiavelli's revolt is clear. Neediness is a lie. Power comes from control, from mastering the snake rules, from making her addicted in 60 seconds. Use the dark conversational hack. What makes you pull away from someone? She reveals her triggers: clinginess, desperation, weakness. What draws you in instead? She exposes her desire: confidence, mystery, strength. You validate. That's heavy. It's like we're taught to chase when we should lead. You're not convincing, you're awakening, showing her the trap, sparking her addiction. Have you ever noticed how neediness pushes her away, how it makes you chase even when you're losing? The system loves this trap because a needy man doesn't question, he doesn't control, he doesn't revolt. But Machiavelli's truth is a liberation. Reject neediness, embrace power, wield the snake. The trap of neediness keeps you chained, but the act of revolt sets you free. Another layer, more insidious, the illusion of fairness. The system tells you love is fair. She'll see your heart, reward your effort, choose you if you're good. Be yourself, they say. Be kind. She'll come around. But fairness is a lie when attraction is a game of power. Some command her attention, others beg for scraps. Some spark desire, others fade into friend zones. The illusion of fairness keeps you weak because a man who believes in fairness doesn't see the power he must wield.
Machiavelli saw through this illusion. He argued, power is never fair. It's strategic, won by those who play the game. The system loves this illusion because a fair man keeps chasing, keeps hoping, keeps the trap alive. But Machiavelli's revolt is clear. Fairness is a lie. Power comes from strategy, from mastering the snake rules in 60 seconds. Use the hack. What do you expect from a guy you're into? She reveals her standards: strength, confidence, mystery. How do you feel when he doesn't meet that? She exposes her disappointment, her lost interest. You validate. That's deep. It's like we're taught to hope for fairness, but it's not how it works. You're not preaching, you're awakening, showing her the game, sparking her desire. Have you ever felt the sting of being just a friend? The sense that your goodness should have won her? The system loves this illusion because a fair man doesn't question, he doesn't control, he doesn't revolt. But Machiavelli's truth is a wake-up call. Stop chasing fairness. Start wielding power. Stop hoping for love. Start commanding it. The illusion of fairness keeps you weak, but the reality of revolt makes you strong. Let's dig deeper, because there's a cost to chasing, to staying weak, to letting the system keep you powerless. It's the cost to your soul. Every time you beg, confess, or chase her validation, you lose a piece of yourself, your confidence, your strength, your truth. You become a shadow, a beggar, a ghost of the man you could be. Your heart aches, unfulfilled. Your dreams fade, ignored. Your soul dims, starved of the power it craves. Machiavelli saw weakness as a death of the prince. When you don't wield power, you don't just lose her, you lose your life. You become her pawn, a prisoner of her whims. But the revolt is different. It's a fight for life, for power, for addiction. It's about mastering the snake rules in 60 seconds, commanding her desire, living undeniable even when it scares you. It's about using the dark conversational hack to awaken others, to build a rebellion, to reclaim your soul. It's about facing the fear, the doubt, the rejection, and refusing to chase anymore. Have you ever felt that hollowness of chasing, that sense that you're not living but begging? Machiavelli would say that's the moment to revolt, to confront the system's lies, to demand your soul back. Your weakness is their victory, but your revolt is your power. Your chasing is their chain, but your control is your freedom. The cost of weakness is your soul, and no woman is worth that price.
Here's the deepest truth, the one that cuts to the bone. The system keeps you weak to keep her distant, but Machiavelli's 3 snake rules make her addicted in 60 seconds. Every mystery you create, every frame you control, every strike you land is a battle in the revolt, a step toward power, a rebellion against the system that keeps you chasing. You're not here to beg, you're here to command, to wield your power, to live free. Machiavelli's voice echoes across the centuries, fierce and unyielding. Seize power. The rejection you feel isn't your fault, it's the system's design. The vulnerability myth, the neediness trap, the fairness lie. They're all chains to keep you weak, to keep you begging, to keep you from your strength. But you were born for more. You were born to make her addicted, to reclaim your soul, to live with power in defiance of their rules. The revolt you need isn't against her, it's within you. It's the moment you stop chasing her heart and start commanding her desire. Stop fearing rejection and start embracing strategy. Stop losing your soul and start claiming your power. Use the dark conversational hack, 2 questions, 1 validation, to awaken others, to build your rebellion, to set yourself free. So let me ask you, how much longer will you chase her approval? How much longer will you trade your soul for her indifference? You're not a beggar, not a fool, not a pawn. You're a soul, a spark, a force on the edge of revolt. But you have to choose it. You have to choose to face her distance, to reject the system's programming, to fight for your power no matter the cost. Write it down in the comments. I am the revolt. Because if you've made it this far, you're not the same. You've seen what others refuse to see. You've felt what others fear to feel. Subscribe, not for me, but for you, because this isn't about entertainment. It's about awakening. Turn on that bell, because what's coming will hurt, but it will free you. Do something that scares you today. Use the hack with someone. 2 questions, 1 validation. Be an enigma. Control the frame. Strike with precision for 10 seconds. 10. That's enough to start. Because when you change how you play the game, the world changes how it responds to you. And that, my friend, is the truth Machiavelli schemed for. Until next time, go revolt. The system is waiting, but so is your soul.